Oh, wait a minute.
There you go.
Duh. There's a cover on here. Don't be laughing at me, man. That's not very nice.
That's
Respect your
awesome.
elders. How you doing, gentlemen? Welcome, Darling Dad. We have here today at the Roosta Show. More rock, less cock. So, hey, well, great to have you guys here, man. I obviously know Brandi. Go ahead and introduce yourself, bud.
I'm Static. I'm the guitar player.
Static. Nice to
Yeah.
meet you, bud. Pleasure
Likewise.
to have you here. Brandi, of course. Good to have you here, man. Been a long time.
Good to be here.
And well, so how long you guys been? What's up with you guys? You guys have been around for how long now?
A long ass fucking time. Like he's the newest member of the band. He's been like
4 months? October?
a few months, something like that. Yeah. So, yeah, since like early October. So and we are doing some recording right now. We were gonna try and get a full album out in the early part of the year.
Yeah.
And we still are probably going to put out a full album at some point. No, well, not this year. I was going to say next year, but yeah, we have entered 24. So, yeah, we're probably going to put out a new album probably in the second half of the year, but we're going to put out an EP soon. I don't know the exact date yet, but soon.
Cool.
We're already in the process of recording it.
So, when you guys come? What year did you got? Were you guys formed? Around
We actually formed it originally in the 90s.
in the 90s.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we split up. I actually Johnny, the bass player, him and I are the only original members now. And after Darling Dead split up, him and I played in another band together after that. And then we reformed Darling Dead in 2018. End of 2017, beginning of 2018, something like that.
Wonderful. Yeah, I love what you guys do. You guys have a great sound, great style, great attitude, and I'm looking forward to your future projects. So you guys got a wonderful little concert coming up, huh?
Yep. Yeah, we got a couple of shows coming up. We're playing in, I don't even remember we're playing in San Diego, January 19th, but I have no idea what the name of the venue is. And then we're playing January 20th in Los Angeles at Bar Sinister with Vampires Everywhere.
Awesome. That's wonderful. Great club. Bar
Yeah.
Sinister's been around a while too.
Yep. Yeah, it has been there quite a while.
Back when I used to go clubbing in Hollywood. So yeah, that's been a long time. Yeah. Back in 93, I used to party out there. So yeah, well, cool, man. So you play guitar? How long you been playing guitar, bud? Static?
Oof. Man, it's got to be at least 15 plus years. It's been a while.
That's awesome. What got you to want to play?
So my dad always kind of picked around on guitar, and I wanted to learn it, but he was a horrible teacher, so I had to teach myself. But I heard a Boston song, and Tom Schultz ripping a solo, and that's kind of like what sparked my interest.
Wonderful. What kind of bands did you kind of grow up liking?
So ironically, everybody, like, when they start learning guitar and stuff, they all like Metallica, and I hated them. I actually fell in love with Ozzy Osbourne and Randy Rhoads.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Much talent there. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that kind of kicked things off, and then as I've gotten older, I've kind of really started liking Metallica a lot, and kind of like some of the speed metal and things like that. And then my music changed to a lot more metalcore type things.
Yeah.
So I really started liking like Killswitch Engage and just some of the other like harder bands, Slipknot and things in that nature.
Right on. You like Godflesh?
Actually, I've never heard of them, but I will have to look into them.
Oh, you haven't heard of Godflesh yet? Oh, they're good. You have, right, Brandi?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty sick.
Yeah.
They're some of their earlier stuff. Slave State, man, that's the one to check out.
Okay.
Slave State is amazing. It's earlier, but Yeah, they're really good. They're like a really intense guitar, kind of like Fugazi type drums, that's melancholy, type drums, but
Yeah.
with heavy, intense guitar and yelling and screaming, and it's really intense. It's really good. Yeah. Anyways,
Awesome.
so wonderful.
Yeah.
So how does that, Brandi? How do you come about your inspiration for your music?
Well, speaking for myself, like I listen to a lot of different types of music, but most of what I listen to is, I'd say, falls into some kind of a darker realm. So, I mean, I like when I was really young, I listened to stuff like Motley Crue and Wasp and LA Guns, but I also listened to like The Cure and Sisters of Mercy and Fields of the Nephilim and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then, kind of going along, I started to get into stuff like Cradle of Filth and Dimmu Borgir and Satyricon and Emperor and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And then a lot of like the kind of going through the decades with the various goth bands. There's a lot of goth bands that have come out like newer over the years that I get into. Like, I mean, they didn't even exist anymore, and they were not that original '80s wave of bands, but
Yeah.
bands like Faith in the Muse and
Oh yeah.
Nosferatu and stuff like that. Rosetta Stone.
Oh my God, Rosetta Stone's insane. I love
Yeah.
them. I mean, just blown away every time they put out new albums. Like, no, oh my God, it's like I don't know. They're good. I got a little crush for Rosetta Stone. I like them. They're good people. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying for an interview really bad with those guys. I
That would be
love them.
awesome.
Yeah, they're intense. So, wonderful, wonderful. So, your inspiration comes from those type of 80s, 90s. I had one guy tell me that he would actually get inspiration by watching horror movies.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I mean,
Ravens Borland, actually.
yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that told me that. He goes, "Yeah, I like to watch horror movies and stuff." Okay, there you
Yeah,
go.
I definitely could see that. Like it's probably particularly lyrically, I could see that.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, I get it. Like I've written a couple songs that are kind of fucked up lyrically, I guess. So like,
Well, I mean, good goth. I think good goth though is kind of more written from your heart, anyways. I mean,
mhm,
they're gonna be more, if they're gonna be more of an impact type of music, it's gonna be from your heart anyway. So
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's what I think you guys do really good with your sound is you learn to, you know, kind of just play from your soul, play from who you are and not trying to be like anybody else. You
right,
don't
right,
sound like no one else. You don't seem like you're trying to fake the funk and try to be like anyone. That's
right,
that's
right.
important. Be yourselves and be unique and then your music will be reached, to more
Yeah,
people and to yeah, impact on people's lives. So
yeah, yeah.
for
I
you.
mean, something that I think we do. We have songs that don't necessarily sound like a lot of times. Like in a lot of bands, some bands have, and I don't necessarily mean this in a bad way, but some bands have a formula
Yeah,
and they kind of like operate within that bubble,
yeah,
and um, and other bands don't. But we kind of have a lot of different things. I mean, if you say, oh well, I like The Cure and I like Watain, like that might like twist up certain people. But I mean, you take all of that stuff and mesh it all together, and it works in the big picture. Especially like these days, I had a good friend of mine was in a band that was. I don't think that them and us really sound the same, but what we definitely have in common is that there was a lot of different stuff coming influentially from very different areas. And
yeah.
I know at the time they used to get criticized for that, but I think that it's a lot more open now than what it used to be. If you do something where you are, you know, kind of over here on this song and over here on another one somewhere in between with the other songs.
Yeah. I get you. I get you. So, you guys are Florida, right? That's where you guys are.
Sort of, kind of. I mean,
Right.
we have we got some members in Florida. We got what is probably about to be our new drummer lives in California. Our bass player lives in Vegas, and I'm
Oh,
actually considering moving to Mexico. So, so
huh.
you'll have, if I do that, people are going to be all over the place.
Wow. That's crazy. So, Static, where are you originally from?
Born and raised in Florida, Tampa Bay
Born and raised
area.
in? Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I'm born and raised Californian. Where are you born and raised,
I
brother?
was born in Miami, and I grew up. I actually completely grew up in Florida, mostly in Miami, but I lived in northern Florida for a while too as a kid.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, I went out to LA,
How's
like
the
trying to live the dream there when I was really young.
how's the scene out there?
Out here in
Yeah,
Florida,
yeah.
um, South Florida is pretty good. Um, I, I would probably say Tampa's above Orlando, but although they're really close together, and the people that are in those scenes kind of overlap. Um, same thing with I mean, Jacksonville's a little further away, they got their own thing. South Florida, I don't know about the fans, I mean, maybe to a degree, but in South Florida, like the bands, a lot of the bands from down there like no bands from other parts of Florida and stuff, so there's a lot
Yeah.
of intermingling amongst the bands from different parts of the state. And yeah, I think we actually are going to do, I went to on Thanksgiving weekend, I went to Richmond, Virginia to see Wednesday 13,
Yeah.
and I met a band from up there um, at the show, and we're probably going to be doing some shows with them in March now.
Ooh,
So
that would be sick.
yeah,
Yeah, the Wednesday 13th, pretty good.
yeah. We actually we played with Wednesday 13 in LA. It's about 5 years ago or so. But that was pretty cool. But yeah, the
Yeah,
show I
that's
saw
cool.
in Virginia, actually, he did he played a bunch of the songs from Beyond the Valley of the Murder Dolls in the show I just saw him at.
Oh, yeah,
So it was pretty
that'd
good.
be a good one. Hell yeah. So, how many members do you guys have again in your band? How many members?
Right now there's five. I
Five.
Yeah,
Wow.
ideally it would be six if we had like all the pieces. So we're
Oh,
trying to have
wonderful.
like two guitar players and a synth player, and singer bass drums.
Okay, wonderful. That's nice that you guys go with a regular type of band setup, regular setup, because instead of just doing it electronic drums and having a live drummer, it makes it so much more
Yeah,
impactable, I guess, or
yeah. What
much more impact, I
it's
guess.
definitely, ideally that's the way to go. It's
Yeah,
one thing that I will say, like over the last
it
few
gives music
years.
balls. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That's basically what's up.
It's kind of hard to work with people in a long-term situation that are serious. That's
Yeah,
definitely been a problem. And I see, like, I've got I'm friends with a band from California called 13th Sky, and
yeah, yeah.
they play live without a drummer. It's always pre-recorded drums, and I understand why they do it because a lot of times you're trying to find that drummer that's going to work with you, and then you meet somebody that you think might be okay, and then you start to work with them and they're like a half-ass. And like there's been so many, we've had a lot of problems with that over the last handful of years. The last two shows that we did, as a matter of fact, um the guy that was going to play drums decided the day before the show that he was pissed off and that he was not going to do the shows. So
What?
rather, we had two
Mm.
shows coming up right after that, and we ended up doing the shows with no drummer, with no recorded drums either. We just played with
Oh,
minus drums because it was either cancel or do the shows. And it would have been literally a last minute cancellation. So we just did the shows with no drummer.
wow. How did that go?
Considering that it was not planned, I think it went pretty well. I mean, one thing that I think is kind of cool about people like you. I mean, I actually talked a lot of shit about the guy on stage, but like a lot of times the people like they appreciate what you're doing, and they see that you're in kind of some situation like that. I think they like as on we could have canceled and we would have had a valid reason to cancel, but
Yeah,
we didn't.
exactly.
And I think that kind of like people were like, oh, it's cool you did the show anyways. You know, you in a way it gets people like to be more into you, like when you kind of deal with bullshit and go through it anyways.
Yeah.
So I think all in all, there was a pretty good crowd reaction at those shows, despite the no drums.
More, it seems like it would be more of a folky kind of goth show then, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I had a band when I was in the Marine Corps, and it was pretty cool. It was a bunch of goth. It was a bassist, and I was the guitarist, and we had a lead singer. His name was Ghost, and we had no drummer, so it was pretty neat. We used to do little house parties and stuff like that. It was fun
yeah.
though. So yeah, it'd be cool to do a little gothic folk type thing,
Yeah.
with no drums and all that. It was pretty fun actually. So I could kind of understand how that night probably ended up. That
Yeah.
would be pretty cool. That'd be fun. So you got how do you guys collaborate with other members, other bands, or
Um,
other people? Or do you
Sometimes like
guys
we did like on our last album, we had remixes from outside. We got a remix from Christoph from Dawn of Ashes. And then
okay.
we had another one with a friend of mine that's in another band who coincidentally right now they're recording with us. He's actually working with us on synth parts for songs.
Wonderful. Cool, cool. How do you guys feel about doing covers?
We actually we're good with doing covers. We've played Lucretia My Reflection live several times.
Ooh,
And then we did
I'd like to hear a version of that from you guys.
yeah,
That'd
it's
be
actually on
great.
YouTube. You can find it.
Okay, I'll look it
Yeah.
up.
But
I'll check it.
yeah, we've done that several times. And then I actually that the version that's on YouTube, I think that's the very first time we ever played it.
Oh,
As a matter of fact, I think that's when we opened for Wednesday 13, I think. But but yeah, so we played that several times. We played Feuerfrei from Rammstein.
oh,
We played that before.
okay.
And we're actually the EP we're working on right now. It's going to be called Vampiric Impressions. We're doing it's like I mean, a lot of people know who Fields of the Nephilim is, but this song is really obscure, I would say, even for them. So we're doing a song called Subsanity, Fields of the Nephilim song.
Okay.
Um, so I'm actually pretty pumped. I think that song's going to come out pretty well.
Awesome. You kind of laughed there, Static, about when I asked about covers. How do you feel about doing covers?
I like covers. I like being able to take the cover and kind of make it my own.
Okay,
Um,
I
so
like
I
that.
like adding in fills and things like that. And like on this EP, if you listen to the original track, there are some little fill-in things that I put in there to kind
Wonderful.
of beef the song up, and make it more Darling Dead style. So
Heck yeah. So, back to you, Static. Who's kind of one of your so is Randy Rhodes kind of one of your idols of guitar? Is
for
someone you
like
look up to
80s
for how
style,
you play? Yeah.
yeah. My all-time favorite guitar player though, right now, currently to date, in my opinion, I think he's the best in the world. His name's Andy James, and he actually, not a lot of people knew about him. I've been following the guy since I was in like high school,
Oh
and
wow.
now he's the lead guitar player for Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh wonderful.
So,
Yeah. One of my favorite guitarists actually is Ian Arkley. He
okay.
was a band. He's a Guillotine Dream.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard of Guillotine Dream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they're a small little gothic band out of Wales in England. But
Oh,
he
okay, cool.
started he started off doing metal for a band called Seventh Angel, and really good guitarist and vocalist. Oh my lord, he's amazing. His vocals just blow my freaking mind, and it's like totally different type of metal type of vocalist. So yeah, and funny thing is when you said high school, yeah, I was listening to that guy since like 92, 91,
That's awesome.
like forever. We're like still friends on Facebook. Yeah, I just talked to him yesterday.
That's really
Great guy.
cool.
Yeah, great guy. Yeah, it was like, oh, I get to talk about one of my idols. You know, but I don't tell him that.
Right.
So I will have, yeah, okay, got distracted a little bit. So you guys, do you just have that couple shows, or do you have a tour going on, or
I don't
what's up?
know what we're. This is like a kind of a hang up for me, especially like over the last, because I mentioned like we reformed in late 2017, early 2018, and there was kind of a plan to put stuff out, and there always seems to be like a stumbling block in the way.
Yeah,
So
there is.
because we actually started recording
Life.
in 2018, we didn't put the album out until 2021. But we had I went paragliding and crashed and fractured my spine, so like I was out of commission for a while.
Oh my
um
lord.
and then the
When was
COVID
that
shit
again?
happened.
When did that
That was
happen?
in 2019.
Wow. You're looking pretty good for having a messed up spine.
Yeah, well, it was an interesting experience. Like I had to wear a body brace for about 6 months.
Oh my lord.
So
That'd be horrible.
yeah, it kind of sucked.
Yeah,
But I mean, it could have been worse. Yeah, I didn't. I found out a lot of the details after it happened, but like a couple days afterwards, actually, like when I crashed, I actually went down 35 feet. But if I had gone a little advanced, a little further forward, I would have dropped, I think, like 275 feet onto jagged rocks. So I guess the 35 feet was the better option of the two.
yeah, no duh. Yeah, that would be definitely. Oh my lord. I'm honestly scared of heights, so I would never do that. I
Well,
give you
I would not
I give
recommend
you credit.
paragliding. Yeah, like I'd
I
say,
don't
like,
care. I may have been a Marine. I may be a little bit, not scared about certain things, but I'm still scared of heights.
yeah,
Oh
well, I'm
boy.
I'm good. After that experience, like I'm if I'm going to be in the air, it has to be a motorized craft. No
Yeah.
parasailing, no paragliding, no skydiving. I'm good with all that stuff.
Yeah, no duh. I fell 10 feet and broke my ankle.
Oh damn.
Yeah, yeah. It sucked. Anyway, so no, I've heard that okay, well, no, let's wait on that. Inspiration. So like you get I asked talked earlier about inspirations about how you guys what inspires you to write your music. What's one of your tracks that kind of is one of those things that tracks that kind of stand out to you that mean a lot to you? Well, we'll start with you, Static. How about that? What's the track that you
Um,
guys play that every time you guys play it live, like you just feel something with it. You relate with it.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Brandy's lyrical writing style is phenomenal, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Some of the ways that he comes up with like his lyrical choices, um, definitely hit different than some of the other bands um, that I listen to and that I've worked with.
Huh.
That's hard. I'm gonna need a minute to think on that
Okay, you
one.
think about it. I'm sure Brady has an idea. Go for it, Brady.
Yeah, I mean there
Go
are
back to you,
songs
bud.
that like over time, like I've read several times with somebody is like some song that there's like they're known for, and they're
Yeah.
like, fuck, I hate playing that song live, but I play it because people want to hear it. Like I wouldn't say that I'm quite at that point, but like I've played like Flowers from Mars and fucking Destroy, like those songs. I played those live so many times, and they're kind of like almost like a staple like we had a conversation not too long ago. I don't think that those songs are going to get removed from our set list anytime in the foreseeable future.
Like
but I
ever.
like a song because our lyrics are Johnny, the bass player, and I are the primary lyric writers in the band. A song that I'm like pretty happy with, like the end result is Bats.
Okay.
Because Bats is a pretty warped song lyrically, but I really like the idea and how the story is told, how it all breaks down.
And what is the song? What's the story about that song?
The song is about somebody that's essentially a serial killer, and they hear voices like telling them to do stuff. So like I kind of leave it open. Like if somebody listens to it, they can. I do think it's funny too. Like because you'll write a song and you'll meet somebody and they'll come up and have a big conversation about you. Oh, this song is like this and this for me. And like it's like, well, I didn't mean anything that you're talking about, but if that's what you get out of it, that's still cool.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
But
amazing the different types of meanings people get from
meaning from different songs, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, as a matter, well, I'm sidetracking a little bit, but I used to write songs about people that I knew all the time.
Yeah.
And they generally would be negative songs. And I found like I'd write a song that completely was like tearing somebody apart, and they would hear the song and go, oh, that's a great song. That happened so many times. I used to think it was funny. But yeah, going back with Bats, it's kind of like for me, like people can interpret it. Either the person's insane or they're like possessed or like however you want to interpret it. But in the end result, that the person is killing people and always hearing the voices while they're killing people, and in the end, they end up killing themselves. So it's like what is it? I have to, even though I wrote the lyrics, I have to think about it to spit them out at the point. But time is the last part of the song says, my sweet, the time has come for this to end. I must guide you as I'm your only friend. The blade must turn. It's time for blood to spill. Your own demise will be your final thrill.
Oh, very deep. Very deep, man. Good job. Good answer.
Thanks.
Okay. Now back to you, buddy.
I would say for me, can I list a song off the EP?
Yeah. I mean,
we played it live.
Yeah.
For me, it's a song that we're getting ready to release. It's called Vestal Heart.
Okay.
The meaning behind it, at least the way it speaks to me, is it's about like a guy who like falls in love with somebody, right?
Well, I'll go ahead and lay out a game plan if you want to.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the short story. It's about a vampire that seduces a nun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he loves her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just the way the song flows and like at least the feel that I've put into it. Writing and restructuring some of the guitar parts and stuff. It's a really fun song to play.
Yeah, wonderful. That's so do you play do you just mainly stick with guitar then, right now? Is that your main instrument?
Yeah.
Right on. That's awesome. Yeah, I love playing guitar actually as well. What's your weapon of choice? What's your axe?
On stage, it's a Epiphone Les Paul Prophecy EX. So it's the only series of guitars that Epiphone makes that has 24 frets and active pickups. So I'm running a EMG 81 and an 85. And typically that's my go-to. And then for recording, I'm using a Paul Reed Smith Custom 24.
Yeah, I actually really love Ibanez. I Ibanez were great for my little body. I don't know. I like it. Just a little guy. I like little guitars. Yeah. So, well, now, so your shows, would your shows in LA coming up?
January 20th in LA.
January 20th. Wonderful. And you said you're gonna be moving to Mexico probably, huh?
Yeah, it's more likely than not, honestly.
Gosh, boy. Dude, why what would make you want to go there?
Um,
Yeah,
uh,
family or
no families. Yeah, he said burritos.
yeah, no, I mean,
No,
yeah. Come on.
it's just that the place that I am interested in going to is it's in the mountains just south of Guadalajara. So
Okay.
it's Guadalajara is less than an hour away, and Guadalajara is a huge city. So like you have like all the like big city stuff that's relatively close, but it's completely disconnected from that, even though it's close. So it's kind of
Yeah.
laid back. It's in the mountains. It's on a lake. The weather is just about the same all year long. It never gets super hot. Never gets super cold, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper to live down there.
Honestly, the last time I used to go party in Mexico, the scene was actually
Ye-
really
That's
accepted out there. I
that's
mean,
the thing.
there's a
Yeah,
lot of clubs out there, and they a
mhm.
lot of gothic and alternative rock, and
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. There's a
So,
big scene for that in Mexico, and I think we coincidentally, like I haven't looked in a while, but when I look at like the different platforms to see like who's like looking at the band, Mexico, we're fairly popular in Mexico, so that's
wow,
just coincidental. It's not really driving me. You should go live
yeah,
there, but yeah, we have a decent fan base in Mexico, and I know I've not played in Mexico City or Guadalajara, but I have friends that have, and they always say the shows are awesome, the crowds are awesome.
yeah.
Um,
Got Blood Dance going to be coming to for an interview in like a few weeks. Yeah, they're from Mexico.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I did talk to Last Dust there too. That was interesting interview. That was a long time ago. A
yeah,
long time. Yeah, hey, but I can't remember. Didn't I do it? We did an interview a long time ago though, didn't we? An audio. I
I
thought
don't.
we did an
We might have done
audio
an audio
interview a
interview.
long time ago,
I don't
like
know.
way back in the day, like 2016. I think. Anyways, ugh, that's crazy. So I heard you have a couple tracks for us tonight, huh? Or
Yeah,
just one?
we're
One or two? What do you got?
Probably just
yeah,
flower.
probably flowers. Yeah, we haven't even. I will share with you. We haven't even practiced this. So, talking about doing it acoustically, we've never played it acoustically. So we're kind of winging it.
That's all right. So cool, man. Go for it, man. If you want, you guys can go ahead and bust that out, man.
Sure.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. All right, here on the Rooster Show, we have Darling Dead, and here is one of their tracks. It's flower. Wait, what is it called?
Flowers from Mars.
Flowers for Mars. That's right. Flowers for Mars. Here we go. I can't hear.
Without loud eyes, rabbit will of the serpents reprise. Sends a titan swallows her mind. Black mirror, existence, space and time. Whirling pride to the left hand side, protege of the chaos knights. With blood to spare, she's a Saturn night. Dinner, midnight lips, gaslight assembly, the truth eclipse. Volcanoes in the chosen hand. Sigils now are protected in sand. Can you see them?
Yeah.
My Promethean angel, naked in love and war. In hell of black flames, she's spinning flowers from Mars tonight. When the world spins on its back, she's breathing flowers from Mars. The stars swell her thoughts tonight. Digital mom, a teacher's pets. Then she asked him for a pat on the head. Weaponized pretty chloroform reality. Begin to even do with righteous misery. Falling back to push their weight, needing structural use to separate. Swallowing this soul in the fall lines of hate. Brandi tarot shapes shift again through different causes, uniforms, and skins. Culturally placed to embrace your chains, castrating individuality. Through the choir, the soloist reigns.
Yeah.
My Promethean garden, naked in love and war. In hell of black flames, she's painting flowers from Mars tonight. This world spins on its back now. She's bleeding flowers from Mars. The stars swell with the thoughts tonight.
Yeah. Good job. Right on, guys. Good job, man. Good job. Good job. That's awesome. We got to make sure though next time that the acoustic needs to be a little more to the mic, a little more closer to the mic.
Oh, is it further out? Yeah, gotcha. The mic is actually to my left.
Oh, that's why. Mike's over there. Gotcha. Okay, we'll figure that out next. That's awesome. Good job, guys. Well,
Thanks, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. I'm stoked for you. And so what do you guys have for like the future plans for your band? You got you said you have an EP that you're trying to work on, get that out.
Yep. So
You
we're
have
trying
some
to,
more
yeah.
ideas for the band coming up.
Yeah, we actually got a pretty large amount of material at this point. So,
Okay.
and some of the songs, I think the songs that are going to be on the EP, we played all of them live before. Um, so, so we got that, and then we're going to do we've had this album title forever because it's like a kind of a term that was coined to try to be self-descriptive. It's Black Autumn Core. So
Yeah.
we're going to do the EP, which is going to be called Vampiric Impressions. That is probably going to be out in February. And then,
Okay.
And then in, I don't know exactly when, but probably like summer, fall, we'll put out the full album, Black Autumn Core.
Okay, Static. What's
Yeah.
what's one of the things that you get from being a part of this band that like whether it complete you, makes you better person? What things? What do you get from being a band member with Dog and
Um,
Dead?
ooh, that's a good question. I would say like this sense of extended family, like
Okay.
a brother sisterhood.
Yeah.
Because our members are both male and female. Um, but it's just like a tight knit group of people that you get to work with and work together, and we challenge each other musically, which is fun. We all strive to be better in our craft, and just being able to work with like a good group of people really makes all the difference. Because I don't know if you've ever been in a band where you have band members that you just butt heads with all the time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely have.
But
Definitely
yeah,
have.
so everybody in this band is just so easygoing and really fun to work with, and it's just a really fun project.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, my wife's got a question real quick. What? Yeah, my wife's got a question. How do you guys put the music all together since you're so spread out?
It's these days it's easy to do because
Yeah.
you just with the internet and the different platforms you can use to work on stuff. It's one person can work on something and then send it over to somebody else that can then work on it, who send it over to another person to work on it. So it's not really so complex. Like I know he wasn't in the band at the time, but his former band, they had a guy that was a US based band, but they had a guy in the band that lived in Sweden.
Ooh.
So yeah, I mean
Yeah.
you can make it work. It's a lot simpler of a process than what it once was. I mean, we usually, like, when we got shows coming up, that's when we'll all get together at the same time and, like, run through everything before we do shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like the creative process, we could just send stuff to each other, and even like everybody can work on songs on their own too, to just make sure that they're individually tight with
Yeah.
it, like playing along with recordings or whatever the case may be.
Cool.
I would say the only time things get a little difficult is time zone differentials. Because having some members based in California, like their bass player, um, he's probably still at work right now, and it's 9 o'clock. So by the time he gets out and wants to chit chat or whatever, like we're going to bed and getting ready for work the next day, and things like that. It can sometimes get a little difficult, but
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that definitely. What's your favorite part of being in this type of line of work there, Brandy?
Um, I mean, I like the creative aspect of it for sure.
Okay.
And I like performing too. I mean, it's kind of cool. When you do a show where you get like a good vibe from the crowd, and then I certainly like it. I imagine most people do, but I definitely like the accolades that come. Like, you have a show and everybody like comes in. Like, I've had shows like we'll finish the show. The last show that we did in LA was in October, and that was definitely one where this happened. Like, people kept buying me shots so for the show. So you can't go wrong with that.
Oh, I could. Oh, I could get in trouble.
That's true. That too many shots.
So, you have anybody you like to thank for your success so far and for your band? Let's go with you first, Brandy.
Um,
Anybody you
yeah,
like
I
to
mean,
thank?
there's several people that are kind of consistently involved with things. So like my my wife is like super supportive and doesn't step on my toes or anything, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
And then we've got a fan page. There's a girl named Rachel that does a fan page. She's like a pretty consistent, there. And we've got another girl named Andrea, and she does a lot of different stuff for us, like promotion wise and all that good stuff. So those are people that are pretty consistently, you know, doing stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I would say the other two, like, you know, I'm with the long term. Johnny's girlfriend is actually pretty cool. She the Hollywood's Most Hated album cover. I mean, that we had a girl that we know that's her on the cover, but like she put all the logo and change and modified the stuff to go on there. So, you know, along the way you get people helping you with this thing or that or whatever, and it's definitely appreciate the people helping out with stuff. You know, I mean, when you get into the business side of this stuff, it's a pain in the ass, honestly. That's what you want. Ask me what I don't like. That's what I don't.
That's where you get the headache, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
I got you. So, how about you, bud? Oh, what would you like to think?
I would say for me, you know, my girlfriend, she's a big supporter. She troops it out. She goes to the shows and, you know, helps support. Definitely our promoters and people who work on the back side of things. But another big group of people that I would thank would obviously be our fans, buying merch and helping us, you know, be able to go to shows and like go play California or do things like that. You know,
exactly.
it's a huge help in helping us be successful and try to make good material for everybody that enjoys the band. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely. Definitely.
you know, blatant self promotion. There's going to be new music. There's going to be new merch coming soon too.
And where can people find your merchandise at?
You get our website. You can get it on there, which we'll be throwing some stuff up news because everything on our website now is all old. It's been there forever. But yeah,
and what's your website?
It's darlingdeadcults.com.
Okay, Darling Dead Cult. God, wonderful. And are you guys on Spotify?
We're on everything.
iTunes,
Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Amazon Music, YouTube.
YouPorn.
Yeah, there's a shit. I know we're on.
I'm just joking.
Yeah. I learned that that there's. I mean, everybody. I mean, well, they're not completely global. I guess a lot of like the big streaming platforms don't broadcast in certain countries. I guess they're the shitty countries. But yeah, there's streaming platforms that are geared towards certain. Like I forget the name of it, but I know that there's one that's geared to Africa. So there's like in different parts of the world, there's streaming platforms that are kind of specifically geared toward that region of the world.
Huh. I did not know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Can't remember the names of all of them, but I know they exist.
That's neat, man. That's awesome. So, well, wonderful, man. Well, I guess time's kind of come up to an end, I guess. I don't have any more things on top of my head. If there's anything you guys want to add, you guys can add. Or if you guys want to end it with another track, you guys can. It's up to you.
I don't know, like how.
It's an
Yeah,
it wouldn't sound right.
Yeah, the other song that we were talking about doing, like if we do it, it's probably going to be a train wreck. So we're not going to do it.
It's all right.
The way that he plays it normally on electric guitar is like completely different.
We'll let you guys practice it first, and then sometime we'll get together and do a full live set and try to get it worked out so we'll be able to hear all the instruments and all that. And
yeah, that'd be cool.
I barely heard the guitar.
That sucks. I should have positioned the mic differently. I figured it was going to pick up everything okay, but
that's all right.
Sorry about that.
It's all good. It's all good. I saw you grooving. I was into it. It's still good. So well, much love to you guys, and I always got your back here on the Roosta Show, and I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you putting up with me all these years, Brandi, and sticking with me. I've been around since 2016, and you've been here with me the whole time. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
and,
man.
Nice meeting you, Static.
Likewise.
You seem like be a real good guy, man. Hit me up and become friends on Facebook with me, and I'm
Yeah,
on
definitely.
Instagram too. And so I appreciate you guys, man. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, man.
Thank you
Yeah,
guys.
remember, go tell the people who watch this, go find us on YouTube and Spotify and iTunes and
Yeah.
all of that.
Heck yeah. And you'll be you're on my mixes too on SoundCloud. So
Awesome.
Sweet.
all right,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Much love, much respect from the Roosta Show. We have Darling Dead, guys. Thank you guys. I appreciate you both. Static. Brandi. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thanks, brother.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.